Welcome to another video. Today I am going to show you how to solve absolute value equations. Just as a bit of review, we can talk about what absolute value is. So by definition, absolute value is the distance that a number is from 0 on a number line. So if you look at our two examples, I'm asking what is the absolute value of -5 and +5. So on a number line, you can simply count from either direction and see that the absolute value of both +5 and -5 is equal to 5 because we are 5 spaces away from 0 no matter what direction we are coming in from. So in order to solve an absolute value equation, there are 3 main steps. The first one is you are going to make sure that your absolute value symbol are alone on one side of your equation, and then you need to set up 2 different cases, one set equal to the positive solution, one set equal to the negative solution, and then we're going to use substitution to check our answer. So if you look at the example that we have, I have 2 times the absolute value of x minus 17 equals 18. I need my absolute value expression alone on one side. Right now it's being multiplied by 2, so I'm going to cancel that out by dividing by 2, and what I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So I end up getting the absolute value of x minus 17 equals 9. This is step 1. Step number 2 is now going to tell us to set up our 2 different cases. So I'm literally going to write out case number 1 and case number 2. Case number 1 is always going to be the exact same, but I'm going to take away the absolute value symbols. And then case number 2 will be the same thing, except now set equal to a negative solution. At this point, I literally just use inverse operations to get x by itself. So since I have x minus 17, I'm going to get rid of that by adding 17. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. From here, I'm going to get 2 solutions, x equals 26 and x equals 8. Once you have your 2 solutions, it's always encouraged to go ahead and plug them both back into the original problem and make sure that it works out. So I'm going to go ahead and plug 8 back in, and I'm also going to plug in 26. And if you see, my work ends up checking out, and I can tell that these are both correct solutions. Let's take a look at another example. Again, I need my absolute value expression by itself, so I'll get rid of this -2 by adding 2, and what I do to one side, I do to the other. That's going to leave me with my absolute value expression still being multiplied by 3, but I can get rid of that by dividing by 3. So the problem that I'm solving now is the absolute value of d minus 4 equals 4. Now that my absolute value expression is alone on one side, I'm going to go ahead and set up my 2 cases, one set equal to the positive solution, one set equal to the negative. And the steps for solving both of these are the same. I just need to get rid of the -4. So I'll do that by adding 4 to both sides. And that's going to give me solutions of 8 and 0. And now, just like I did for the other problem, I'm going to take my solutions of 8 and 0 and plug them both back into the original problem to see if my answers make sense. And when I do the math, they end up checking out. Here's one final problem to take a look at. So again, I'm going to isolate my absolute value expression. In this case, I'm going to do it by subtracting 10 from both sides. And I end up getting the absolute value of 4x minus 7 equals -8. I can literally stop here because if you remember what I said from the beginning, we think about absolute value as distance, and distance will never be negative. So if you ever get that your equation is set equal to a negative value, you should get no solution, and no solution can be shown as a 0 with a strike through it or the empty set.